Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is it's difficult for me to make these videos, and it's not just because of my grief. It's because when I came up with the idea for this channel, Carlos and I, when we said let's create a YouTube channel to help people, it was with the idea of, being a little bit more positive and upbeat. And then a bunch of stuff happened in my life. And this is the season of life that I'm in, and I want to be honest and transparent, if for no one else, for myself. So that when I have moments of doubt and really dark sadness, hopefully these videos can help me push through, and hopefully at some point they'll be able to help someone else as well. And it's hard because I wanted to be more upbeat and excited and out in the community and doing a bunch of other things for this channel. And I still believe at some point I will get there. I'm just not there yet. Because I've lost so much in such a short period of time. And I thought too about, I had this idea of, well, maybe I'll postpone making videos until I feel better or until I feel normal again. And then I thought about that statement. And the reality of it is that with the 3 losses that I've had, being my best friend, my sister, and my spouse, what I have previously known as normal, I'm never going to feel that type of normal again, because the landscape of my life has been forever altered, and I can't go back to what I previously have known as normal because of the impact those 3 souls have had on my life. But I will continue to grow because I'm here. And that's what they want. They want me to continue to grow and to evolve. And I have a commitment and a promise that Carlos and I created together to create a platform that shares my life experiences to inspire and to motivate others. And even though I'm going through my grief, I hope that it can provide something of value to someone. And things will change. I can't say that they will get easier, but they'll get different. And I will develop systems to help me manage my grief. And that's what I'm going to focus on today, is talking about what my systems are thus far to help me manage. A little bit of a backstory about myself. I have always been really, I'm a planner girl. I like using a planner. I've always liked using a planner for as long as I can remember. And for quite some time, it had developed into a little bit of an obsession. I had planners to organize multiple aspects of life. I had broken everything up into categories. So I had a planner for the day-to-day stuff around the house. I have a planner for health and wellness. I have a planner for my content that I wanted to create and the messages I wanted to share. I just had multiple planners. It was like 4 or 5 different planners. And for a very long time, that worked really well for me. And then life has happened, and I have been so overwhelmed with the shock of it, the pain of it, the overwhelming weight of it all mentally and emotionally, that all of those planners, even though I love them so much, they, I just can't. I mean, let's be realistic at this point. I consider myself fortunate that I'm like pulling myself up out of bed every day and moving forward with just that. So one of the things that I'm doing right now to take care of myself is I have literally streamlined everything to like almost bare bones. I have put the majority of my planner stuff away just because I can't. I just can't. And so this, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this very well, this is a basic checklist of things that I use on a daily basis. That's the paper I use. I make a list of things to accomplish, and I used to, it's so funny because I used to take all of my planners and I'd say, okay, well, what do I need to accomplish? What are my goals for each section of my planner? And now it's just like, what am I going to accomplish in the next 12 to 14 hours that I'm awake? And it's become as simple as I'm gonna brush my teeth. Because as sad as that sounds, when you're in grief, even brushing your teeth, just as normal and as everyday and basic as that sounds, it's just it's a task. So I have days where I'm like, okay, well, today I'm gonna brush my teeth, and I'm going to brush my hair. And today I said I'm going to get in front of the camera and I'm gonna make a video about some of my tools of management. So that's the first thing, is I make a list of basic things that I want to accomplish. And because grief is so heavy right now, it's broken down to the most basic of things. Putting water on my face and brushing my hair and brushing my teeth. The idea behind keeping it as basic as you need to is that at least, even if it's the most basic of things that would not normally make it on a list of to-dos because it is so basic, for me, when I'm in grief this deep and it literally feels like trying to move through quicksand, I just need to be able to check something off and say, yeah, I accomplished that. And it may be basic, but at least I did that, instead of staying in bed and doing nothing. So that's the first thing I do. And then the other thing I do is I have this book, which I got right when Carlos went into the hospital. I got a journal, a new journal, so that I could document everything. I want to document everything that I can. I want to document the conversations that I've had with his family through text messaging. Because even though I have it in a text message form, sooner or later I'm going to have to replace my phone, right? Sooner or later, technology may fail. And even though it's painful moments, there's just some things you don't want to forget. So for me to have it as a hard copy and to put it down on paper, first of all, it helps me process it, and I'll always have it in a book. And I think it's very symbolistic for me. It's symbolic because Carlos taught me how to start writing again, because I come from a history of domestic violence, and a lot of my journals at one point were stolen from me and misused and misinterpreted to try to hurt me. I stopped writing for a long time, and and Carlos taught me, he taught me and he helped me through some stuff and helped me to find space and comfort in writing again. So being able to journal in this way is important, because not only is it therapeutic for myself, because it's another way to get everything out from inside me, even if it's just momentarily, and putting it somewhere else. It's a healing process, but it's also a way to honor Carlos, because he made it possible for me to start journaling again. So yeah, so I have a to-do list with basics, and I have my journal, and of course I have a few close friends That, and when I say a few, I mean literally, I can count them on one hand. That I speak to on a fairly regular basis. Everything is processing. Everything is about getting it all out and sorting it. Because I know that my goals are still the same. And I want to honor my loved ones as best I can. But my landscape looks so different. And I don't quite have a grasp on what it looks like yet. But the simple tools, I think are going to help me kind of navigate things and figure some stuff out. And it's all about my healing, right? And I got to remember, too, that my healing process may not be... My healing process may not go as fast as some may like to assume that it's gonna go, and I don't really care, because at the end of the day, I'm the only one who can't escape me. So I need to be as comfortable as I can, and I need to take the moments of healing and do what I can with them, even if my process is not understood by everyone else. It doesn't matter, because even though my overall hope is that someone else can benefit from me sharing these experiences, the bottom line is, if I'm not taking the time to do what I need to do to heal, it's not gonna matter, because I'm the only one going through my own experience. So yeah, I mean, those are the three things that I can manage right now. Today is staying connected with people that are close with me, and I did that today. I had a nice phone conversation with a really good friend, and I do have a checklist of things that I'm gonna attempt to accomplish today, and I'm gonna write. I will also say that what I'm writing is not just about the experience of the loss of the loved one. I'm also working on just writing them letters in general. Love letters or our story. I mean, I have a whole journal here, so it's gonna be interesting to see how it fills up. But I know that there's gonna be letters of love in there to my loved ones. Yeah, I'm at a point where I'm just looking for the tools that will help me in this moment. At some point, I may seek the assistance of a counselor, because I understand that that may be beneficial. I'm not there yet. I'm not ready to get to know another person and to share the most emotional and deep pain that I've ever felt with a stranger. And I know for some people that's exactly what they need. And I hope that they seek that. Everybody's different. And I'm just saying, I know me. And for me, I'm not ready to open up to a stranger about the most painful things in my life. Not right now. Not in the way that I would do with a counselor. So, in honoring who I am and knowing myself fairly well, I choose to make a good cup of tea, and I write. The other thing I do too, in speaking of tea, is that there were certain things that I did on a regular basis, with Carlos in particular. We would make coffee and tea together, and because we were over the phone most of the time, we would kind of walk each other through all of the steps. So, ask each other, are you ready to make a cup of tea? Yes. Or a coffee. He never drank tea. He didn't like tea. It was coffee. So, you ready to make coffee? Yeah, okay. So, let's turn on the water. Okay, water's on. Water's almost ready. And then you'd say the coffee or tea is steeping. And then we would take our first sips together. And it's different than what it used to be, but I still keep those things alive, and those rituals. I still do those, and I still, I'm talking to him every day and going through those motions every day. Because it's important to me. I don't believe that in physical death, I don't believe the soul dies. So, I make coffee and tea every morning with Carlos, just as I had previously. And I talk to my sister and I tell her about life, and I talk to my dog, and I ask both Carlos and Doreen to keep an eye on my dog, and it's just this is my process. This is what I do. This is and obviously it doesn't prevent the tears. I still feel the pain, but for myself, the grieving process isn't about getting over the pain or the sadness of it or even the tears, but it's about, for myself, it's about finding ways of managing so that I'm honoring not only my loved ones, but I'm honoring myself so that I can push forward and continue with the goals and the visions that we've had together and we share. And that's what I've been doing, and it's a day-by-day process, and some days it's a little easier than others, and other days I'm just like, I I still have moments where I find myself just randomly, I'll be doing something and then my body just stops and just sits and nothing. There's no movement. There's no anything. I'm just still and in thought. And I don't know how to explain it. But it's all part of my grieving process. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. And yes, I am still, I'm trying to create new systems and a new way of doing things. Because let's face it, there's no way that my life is gonna quote unquote go back to what was normal. But I can create new systems to help. So I've been working on through these lists and the writing, slowly creating new systems to help facilitate productivity and progress in a slow manner that is manageable. But yes, the checklists and the maintaining of routines, even though I can't auditorily hear his voice, keeping up our morning system and routine is so important, and constantly speaking to them, not to myself but aloud, helps me to honor what I'm feeling. Let's face it, I'm old enough to not give a shit what people think of me. So yeah, I'll be talking to myself, and if they don't get it and they don't understand it, and when I say they, I mean people around me that might hear me talk to myself. If they don't get it, then that's not my concern. At this point, I'm doing what I need to do to honor myself and my loved ones, and that's what I would encourage anyone to do who's going through this grieving process. Excuse me. And if you have, if you yourself are going through something, figure out what it is you need to take care of yourself and take it as slow as you need to. I've had to break all of my systems down to the most simple and basic level of do's and don'ts, because that's just where I'm at this point. I would encourage anyone who's going through any level of grief or transition to do the same. And, if you have any suggestions or ideas on how to move through a difficult situation or some level of grief, feel free to share it in the comments if you so wish. If not, that's entirely understandable too. I hope that sharing my process will inspire and motivate somebody. But I do want to say thank you to those that have reached out in the comments and sent me your best wishes and your kind words. I really do appreciate it. And for that moment in time, it makes you feel a little less lonely. So I thank you for that. And I hope that this platform continues to grow. And I hope that one day I'll be able to make a video and not be crying. Thank you. I'll see you next time.